Canadian Elite Basketball League action is coming to you live from Saskatoon. It's an inter-conference matchup as the Niagara River Lions travel west to take on the Saskatoon Mamba. Hello everyone, I'm Ryan Flaherty alongside Eric Magdans. Katrin Hudson will join us momentarily. We are into the final days of July, and that means that we are right around the corner from the CEBL playoffs, just a week away, in fact. And tonight's matchup features one team that has already punched its postseason ticket and one that is still looking to do so. That would be the visiting River Lions, who can earn that valuable X next to their name with a win here tonight. And so, Eric, the challenge for the Mamba, who have already punched their postseason berth, is to match the urgency level of Niagara as they look to get a strong finish to the regular season.
Yeah, it's always hard to beat the champs, and the Niagara River Lions are loaded with returning players from those championship seasons. They're led by the explosive backcourt of Khalil Ahmad and Kyle Viñales, and they'll be a real challenge for the Mamba to contain tonight. And the Mamba, despite having secured a playoff spot, are still looking to lock up the third position and have an opportunity to tie the franchise record in season victories. With so much on the line, there's so much to play for tonight.
It is an intriguing matchup, no doubt. The River Lions also looking for some payback after a big win by the Mamba out in Ontario earlier this season. But with more on tonight's matchup, let's send it over to the third member of our crew, Katrin Hudson.
Well, we've reached a very interesting point of the season where all of these last few games start to mean very different things for each team. Like Eric said, the Mamba have clinched that playoff spot. How the seeding plays out will be determined over the next week or so. They do have a major roster change heading into the playoffs. Jalen Williams has departed the team. He has signed a contract in Australia with their National Basketball League. Coach Fox and the rest of the team, very happy for him, of course. For the River Lions in the Eastern Conference, things are playing out a little differently. They are, as Coach Kimball McKenzie called it, in a bit of a log jam. That log jam could loosen, however, though, if they do win tonight. They will clinch that playoff spot, so it's going to be a very exciting night here at SaskTel Centre as these final games play out. Back to you, Ryan.
Absolutely, thanks, Katrin. Yeah, wild to think that with a week to go, only one of the 8 playoff seeds is actually settled. But that's just the way it's been here in 2026 in the CEBL. It's been a lot of fun, a lot of parity in the league this year. As we take a look at some of the stats between these two teams, as you can see, the Mamba a significant edge in the scoring department. They are the best three-point shooting team in the CEBL. The River Lions rank 8th. Rebounding goes to the Mamba as well, but a lot of the other numbers pretty even between these two teams. It was, however, Saskatoon dominating in their first matchup this season with a 104-77 victory. And I'm sure that Isaiah Fox will be looking to hope to see a little bit more performance like that from his team here at home tonight as they rematch against Niagara. Let's hear from the head coach now. He's standing by with Katrin.
Coach Fox, you have secured that playoff spot, but how important is it for your team to keep that momentum up?
Yeah, it's very important for us. I mean, that's the way we're going to make some damage in the playoffs. We got to get finely tuned. We got to get more in sync. We don't have Jay Will here anymore, so guys are going to have to step in, be ready to play some big minutes tonight.
All right, and how are things going to change without Jay Will on the floor?
Well, we'll see how the minutes get distributed first. That's going to be that's going to be the biggest change. But you know, our style of play is still going to be the same. We're going to play fast. You know, try to hunt the corners, get in to get out, hit the paint, shoot some threes, and hopefully it's with us tonight.
All right, thanks so much, Coach. Good luck in the first half. Back to you, Ryan.
All righty, thanks, Katrin. Yes, we are very much looking forward to this matchup as the River Lions pay their one and only visit to Saskatoon this season. All right, tip-off is just a few minutes away, so we'll step aside and be back with the opening of this critical contest. You're watching the Canadian Elite Basketball League live on CBC Gem, YouTube, and CEBL+.
Welcome to a new CEBL season.
It's been amazing, Canada basketball, to put that platform and give guys an out.
The crowds were bigger, the players got better, the quality of the game got better.
You gotta love it, Canadian hoops.
Fasten your seatbelt tonight because we're gonna have some high energy and some high flying stuff.
This is a trail, this is for real. It's all that I gotta say. I'm in my zone.
No shortage of emotion, no shortage of intensity as anticipated.
Sliding away. What a block from behind.
You don't just feel your body, you feel your drive. We're not here to preach hustle. We're here for the ones who show up. You know who you are. The moms who make mornings feel like magic. The runners lacing up before the scroll. The dreamers writing it down before it's real. And we're here for you. Real fruit, real fuel. Booster juice. Fuel for what's next.
What keeps me going? Under the heat of the sun or in the heat of the moment. When climbing for even one more second seems like too much. Whether you're reaching for your goal or busy setting new ones, everyone hits their limit, but that limit has a reset. Scientifically formulated to hydrate faster in the moments that matter. Electrolyte, instant hydration.
Welcome back inside SaskTel Centre as we get set for a matchup of two third-place teams, albeit one much more comfortably so than the other right now, as the Saskatoon Mamba gets set to take on the Niagara River Lions. Let's get right into the keys to the game presented by CDIC. Eric, you've identified some keys for both teams. Let's start with the keys for the visiting River Lions.
Thanks, Ryan. Yeah, when we talked about those stats, we talked about that point discrepancy. It's going to be important for Niagara tonight to find ways to make up those points. So how can they find easy points? The first is to be disruptive. They are tops in the league for steals, or top 4 in the league in steals. Get those turnovers. The Mamba has been susceptible to getting out in transition with that defensive transition. The second way is crash the glass. Niagara's a very good offensive rebounding team, and the Mamba have been susceptible to offensive rebounds all season long. And obviously, this game means a ton for Niagara. So fight for every possession, leave nothing behind.
Yeah, we'll be looking for the same kind of effort that helped them erase a 27-point deficit in their last game against Ottawa. All right, let's take a look at your keys for the Mamba, presented by CDIC.
Yeah, keys for tonight. In their first matchup, it might have been the Mamba's best game of the season, and they found their flow. The Mamba are at their best when they play in fast, when they're playing free, and when they're sharing the ball. They had 27 assists in that last matchup. That was an absolute key. That was really the kickoff to this season and their style of play. The second is controlling the perimeter. We've already talked about Khalil Ahmad and Kyle Vinales. They do over 40% of the River Lions scoring. We've got to be able to control them, keep them out of there, no easy shots. And finally, finish those possessions. Keep those River Lions off the boards, finish them, and that's what's going to allow them to get out in transition.
All right, some great things to keep an eye on here tonight. Let's take a look at the starting lineups. I had them there for a second. Hopefully we can get those back for you as we give you a very sneak peek, but that was, of course, our last game. So, but the starting lineups, I can tell you, the Mamba going with the same starting 5 that we've seen for a number of games in a row now here, with the Canadians, Devontae Bandu and Jaden Bediako out there alongside Trey Townsend, Tavian Dunn-Martin, and Jameer Chaplin. There we go. And for the Niagara River Lions, it is Nathan Kayo and Elijah Lufile, the Canadians in the starting 5, alongside the Lion King, Khalil Ahmad, the new sharpshooter Kyle Vinales, and Keontae Kennedy, the only member of the team who's played in every game this season. All right, you've identified a player to watch from each team, Eric. Let's start with Kyle Vinales for Niagara.
Yeah, Kyle Vinales, as you mentioned, newcomer, only his 8th game of the season here with the River Lions, but an experienced pro, over a decade of professional basketball across the world. China, France, Puerto Rico, great leagues, and everything he's done there is he can shoot the ball. Shooting 49% from the field this season and 48% from 3. That's where he does his damage, and that's how he creates space for other people. That's going to be the important thing for tonight. Can he create open shots, and can the Mamba look to contain him?
And for Mamba, you're focused on Jaden Bediako.
Yeah, Jaden Bediako, such a key for this Mamba team. When Jaden plays well, the Mamba play well. Averaging 12 points a game, but his biggest impact has been on the glass and protecting the rim. He's the anchor on the back end for the Mamba and such a key to their victory.
And had a season-high 26 points in the first meeting between these two teams. Finished a rebound shy of a double-double with that performance. And you know, Niagara at their shoot-around this morning was talking about we need to do a better job containing the Mamba big men. We're just about set to go here. As always, the opening tip-off in the CEBL is presented by Spalding, the official game ball of the CEBL. It'll be the two Canadian big men, Jaden Bediako and Elijah Lufile, ready to jump it up here as we've got to reset the clock, which somehow lost 3 seconds before there we go, we're back to 10 minutes. I think we're ready to go. Your officiating crew tonight, led by crew chief Tanner Servo. The umpires are Matt Fidelic and Mitch Strom. All set, ready to go from Saskatoon on a Wednesday night. Ryan Flaherty, Eric Magdans, Katrin Hudson with you. Hope you're having a good one. Glad to have you on board as the Mamba look to match their franchise wins record here tonight and deny the River Lions that playoff berth. The lob for Chaplin doesn't connect. And now the River Lions with their first possession of the contest. Kyle Vinales, such an impact in his time since joining this team. Here's Kyle. Vinales guarded by Dunn Martin. They find Ahmad. Works his way inside, throws it up, short. Looked like some contact, but no whistle. Dunn Martin the other way. He's got Chaplin with an open path to the basket. And he runs into Nathan Kayo, who will be whistled for the first foul of the game.
Yeah, some interesting defensive matchups to start the game here. The River Lions have chosen to put Keontae Kennedy, their longest wing defender, onto Tavian Dunn Martin to start the game, and a little bit of back and forth with Jameer Chaplin starting off against Khalil Ahmad.
River Lions bench was not particularly pleased with the no call at the other end of the floor. Chaplin has been almost automatic from the stripe the last several games. Up to 80% on the season now.
Yeah, Coach McKenzie was a fiery player. That's continued through as a coach.
You know, he says the transition to coaching has been pretty smooth, but still looked like a player when you go to shoot around and he's running the scout team and he's involved in all the drills and he's chirping with the guys just like he's still a teammate of theirs. Here's a corner three from Kennedy, no good. And Bandu brings it up the floor for Saskatoon. Townsend stepped out of bounds.
You can already see the different paces that these teams are trying to play with. River Lions much more of a half court, slow it down, really try to set each other up. The Mamba are looking to push with pace every single possession.
Vinales finds a little space, hoists up a three, no. And Trey Townsend gets the rebound. Tavian Dunn Martin, quick trigger three, that's good. And that could be a bad sign for the River Lions. Tavian Dunn Martin, who had 25 in the first meeting, knocks down his first three of the game.
That's got to feel good for TDM. It's been a bit of a shooting slump over the last couple home games here. First one go down has to feel good.
Townsend denying the entry pass, knocks it out of bounds. 11 on the shot clock here for Niagara. 27's the magic number. That's how many the River Lions erased in terms of a deficit on Sunday against Ottawa, as Lafile can't finish, and that is the margin of victory for the Mamba in the first meeting between these two teams, as Bandu can't get the three. Khalil Ahmad now doing his usual thing. Very consistent. He gets blocked, though, on the second try by Bediako. Leading the league in that department. Kicks it into the corner now. Chaplin for three, no. And the River Lions get a reprieve. Still looking for their first points here. Vidialis slashes, throws it out to Kennedy. He gets a lane but can't finish. However, there's a foul. And Keontae Kennedy will go to the line as Bediako picks up his first of the night.
And a lot of quick shots here by the Mamba early on, pushing in transition, but really taking the first shot they get. When they've been really successful this season, they've been working for the best shot possible and not looking to rush it. I think some hometown jitters coming in here.
This Western Conference game is presented by Cal Tire. Keontae Kennedy, 65% on the year, can't hit either, and it's still a goose egg on the board for the Lions. Mamba, though, haven't been able to get much going offensively other than that three-pointer from Dunmartin. Bediako wasn't ready for the pass. It's a turnover. Viñales, fast break, blocked by Chaplin. Kimball McKenzie thought that was a goaltend, but Chaplin going the other way and scores it. I did think he got to that ball just before it reached the glass. I don't know how you felt about that one, Eric.
Such a bang-bang play. Difficult for the officials. Got to like them to allow guys to be athletic. It looked close enough. I would have let it go.
There's Kennedy getting the River Lions on the board after an offensive rebound by Lufile. Keontae Kennedy shooting 33% from three. It's a big one for Niagara just to get them going here. 3.5 minutes in. Bandu fights to win that pass. Chaplin back up top. Tavian Dunn. Martin for three. Bottom of the bucket.
2 for 2 for TDM to start the game, but it's all off of ball movement, creating open shots for one another. Much better possessions here for the Mamba.
10-3, Saskatoon leads it. Ahmad for Kayo, and now Keontae Kennedy. Guarded by Bandu, gives it back to Ahmad. Deep three, rims out. Bediako wins the battle for the board. Dunmartin, you can see, was thinking about another one, but instead has his pass picked off. Kennedy all the way to the cup for a two-handed flush.
The half court right now has been a little bit sloppy for the Mamba. Turnovers have led to the 2 baskets by the River Lions so far. Got to clean it up, get back to being who they are.
Mamba have cut down the turnover numbers in the last few games. Townsend draws a foul. That will go on Ahmad as the River Lions make a couple substitutions. Gorjak, Gak, Munis, Tutu. Part of those mid-season crew of additions for Niagara that really coincided with a nice little mid-season surge, a 4-game win streak after the arrivals of Viñales, Tutu, and Gak.
Yeah, they really fortified their team, got much deeper, and a bunch of players who know each other quite well. Both with Gak having the opportunity to play with Viñales previously, and Tutu was a part of this River Lions organization in previous seasons.
Offensive foul called here on Niagara. Looked like the screen didn't meet the legal requirements there. It's on Gak. Scan the QR code for your chance to win the ultimate CEBL finals trip, courtesy of redtag.ca. You can score round-trip flights, a 2-night hotel stay, and courtside seats to the CEBL finals. Visit cebl.ca/redtag for more details. Marcus Harding checking into the game for Saskatoon. First time he's seen the floor in a few games.
Yeah, that might be due to the removal of Jalen Williams from this team. With him being gone, they're going to have to find more minutes at that 5 position. This could be a really great opportunity for Marcus Harding.
Although he picks up a foul on his first shift. And that will take us to our first break midway through the opening quarter. The Mamba with a 5-point lead here in Saskatoon. You're watching the Canadian Elite Basketball League live on CBC Gem, YouTube, and CEBL Plus.
more than a workout. It's my reset, my challenge, my win. From High Rocks training to recovery, Pilates to hitting new personal bests. Strength days, sweat days, the days I almost skipped but didn't. These are the days that make me stronger. One gym, every journey, limitless possibilities.
Back inside the snake pit, Saskatoon Mamba leading the Niagara River Lions 10-5. As River Lions, it is a convoluted Eastern Conference, but it is a simple formula for Niagara, Eric. Win, and they're in. That's the job they want to get done here tonight.
Yeah, your goal as a coach and what you always want is to be able to control your own destiny, and the River Lions have that opportunity right now. They just got to take care of business.
Back underway under the timeout, Khalil Ahmad. And a little bit of contact there. It didn't look like much, but foul called before the shot on Jameer Chaplin.
And Khalil Ahmad loves to reject ball screens. He's going to always look to go away from that ball screen. As a defender, you have to make sure you're turning your feet, forcing him into that. That's where your help is.
Tavian Dunn-Martin intercepts the inbounds. He's had a knack for doing that this season. Being guarded by Tutu, who's done a tremendous job defensively for Niagara. Kick ball here. As that went off the lower appendage of Gorjak Gak. Jordan Chuente is checked in as well for Niagara out of the timeout. Dunn-Martin inbound for Saskatoon. All the way across the court for Chaplin. Kimmel McKenzie making calls from the Niagara bench. Thought there was a walk there from Chaplin, who gets it inside and floats it home. Seven-point Mamba lead. Ahmad, Tutu into the corner. Chuente for three. No, but there's Kennedy flying in for the putback.
Kennedy's done a great job all season, scoring in a variety of different ways. He's sort of the Jameer Chaplin of this River Lions team. He brings the energy, he scores inside, he scores out, does a little bit of what the team needs.
Dunn-Martin couldn't get it, and Johnny Hughes III, who's in for Saskatoon, also unable to finish. Offensive foul, though, called on Keontae Kennedy. Well, we've mentioned it already, but Jalen Williams with an early departure for Saskatoon. Let's get more on that from Katrin Hodson.
That's right, Ryan. Jalen Williams has signed a contract with the Brisbane Bullets in Australia with their National Basketball League. Coach Fox had nothing but great things to say about it this morning. He said he and the rest of the team are very, very happy for Jalen. Coach Fox is familiar with the Australian National Basketball League and said it's a great league and a really, really amazing opportunity for Jalen. He says if the league is smart, they'll try to keep him there for a while. He also said that while they're all going to miss him as a player and a teammate, seeing guys get opportunities like this is also the goal. We want to win, of course, he said, but we hope everyone gets a gig, that everyone does well and gets picked up by a team. Seeing that happen is an accomplishment as well, said Coach Fox. And with that opening comes an opportunity for some of the other players to get more minutes, something that's very positive for their development as well.
Good stuff, Katrin. Yeah, it is a little bit of good news, bad news for the Mamba, but really that's what this league is all about, Eric, is providing players with opportunities to improve their standing in their basketball careers, and great opportunity for Jalen Williams down under.
Yeah, such a great opportunity. The NBL of Australia is just a phenomenal league. A number of players and coaches actually for the Rattlers have had time there. Dean Demopoulos, coach down there. Larry Abney was a big-time player in there for a number of years. So it's a league we're very familiar here with the Mamba.
One of the better leagues internationally for sure in terms of just the caliber of play. That last foul on Marcus Harding.
And as we're talking about opportunities, we see Johnny Hughes III here on the floor, Damari Monsanto having another opportunity. These are guys who have the opportunity to gain a role here in these final couple games of the season to set themselves up for playoffs.
Gorjak Yak at the line for Niagara. Cal Tire, proud partner and tire expert of the CEBL. Shop top tire brands and have peace of mind with Cal Tire's price match guarantee. Shop and book at caltire.com. Gak 1 of 2. It's a 4-point Mamba lead with 3 minutes to play in the opening quarter. Points at a premium here in this opening frame. Jaden Clayton. Marcus Harding, corner 3. He stepped out of bounds. That far sideline from where we're sitting has been a tough one for the Mamba here in the opening quarter. That's twice a player has stepped on the boundary line.
Yeah, as you said, points have been hard to come by. Quick shots by the Mamba, 5 turnovers now. That's not the recipe for them to be successful. This is kind of playing into the hands of what the River Lions want to do. Make it low possessions, make it low scoring.
Vinales kicks it out. Ahmad for 3. Too strong all the way over the hoop. Right into the hands of Jaden Clayton. Looks off the defender, fights off the contact, and finishes off glass. Yeah, you can flex there, young fella. Impressive play from the first-year pro. Vinales driving baseline, draws the contact, count that basket. And a 3-point play opportunity for Vinales.
Yeah, one of the great things that Vinales has done for this River Lions team is he's allowed Khalil Ahmad to move off ball. Really similar to what Jaden Clayton has done for TDM here in the Mamba. But by allowing Ahmad to move off ball, he can create, both save some energy because he has to create so much for this team, but also to get himself some open shots without having to work too hard for him.
That last foul on Tavian Dunn-Martin as he tried to slow down Vinales. Mari Monsanto back in for Saskatoon along with Jaden Bediako. We've also seen Lufile Kennedy re-enter for Niagara, and also Ayub Nur Hussein making his first appearance for the River Lions, their developmental player. So quick shifts for both coaches here, getting everyone involved in this opening quarter with 2 minutes remaining. Clayton. TDM, great job to keep it alive. But Johnny Hughes III, there's that darn sideline again. Isaiah Fox felt that there was a push there that sent Hughes out of bounds, but neither coach particularly satisfied with the whistles here in the opening quarter. What else is new, Eric?
I think that's day one of being a coach.
Standard,
right there.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's in the handbook. Here's Lafile. Stolen by TDM, and he's fouled as Tutu tried to prevent that fast break. Munis Tutu is just a dogged defender, but he does pick up a foul on that sequence.
And both these teams right now have struggled in the half court to stay connected and find those open passing lanes. It's turning into a lot of turnovers. It's not leading to transition points yet, but it's not a good recipe for either team moving forward.
Not what you would call a picturesque basketball, I would say, in this first quarter, Eric. It's a bit of a grinder, but as you say, that's kind of Niagara's forte. You talk about them wanting to keep it low. They've been held under 90 points 11 times this season. Their scoring average is just a shade under 88, so they're more well-equipped to win a lower scoring game. The Mamba, of course, leading the league in points per game at over 96.
Well, and as we get to know these franchises more and more, that's been a key for the River Lions their entire existence. They've never been a high-scoring team. They've always relied on their defense. That's been who they are, and they've been really successful doing it.
Lufile with a little blue-collar effort now throws it down. 2 quick buckets by Elijah Lufile after that steal by Keontae Kennedy. And Niagara back within 2. Dunn-Martin trying to work free, hoists up a corner 3, no. Rebound secured by Townsend. Monsanto right back to TDM for another one. This one falls. Third 3 of the opening quarter for Dunn-Martin. And a turnover as the River Lions tried to catch the Mamba getting back slow, but that was last off of Tutu. And we've got a technical foul here, I think, on... Is it on Tutu? I thought it might be on someone on the Niagara bench, but Munis Tutu had a little something to say. I think you could make a case for that ball maybe going off Townsend, but either way, an early tech here against Tutu.
Yeah, this River Lions team's been upset with the officiating this entire first quarter here, and they've got to just let it go. They've got to get back to being who they are. And yes, that's being physical, that's being it, but sometimes those calls are going to not go your way. If you're going to play like the River Lions play, you don't want to waste fouls on technical fouls.
That's the second on Tutu. So even if it wasn't a tech, he'd probably be going to the bench for a little bit anyways, but definitely sits down for a cool off as Dunn Martin, it makes the technical free throw. He's got half of Saskatoon's points here thus far.
And Tutu with those 2 fouls is such an important Canadian for the River Lions. He occupies a lot of those minutes and is such a great defender like you've mentioned. Having him on the bench maybe for the rest of this first half is a big help to this Mamba team.
5-second differential, game clock and shot clock. Clayton calls for the screen and then hands it off to Townsend. Back up top, Monsanto inside, Bediako to the corner. Dunn Martin for 3. No, tip back up. Who's got it? Nur Hussein does. He has time, but doesn't get one off. I don't know if Bediako get credited for a block there or not, but a little bit of indecision in the final seconds there from Nur Hussein. And the Mamba will take a 6-point lead after 1 quarter of play. We're just getting warmed up here in Saskatoon as the River Lions try to lock down a playoff berth, and the Mamba chase a franchise wins record. You're watching the CEBL live on CBC Gem, YouTube, and CEBL Plus.
What keeps me going? Under the heat of the sun or in the heat of the moment. When climbing for even one more second seems like too much. Whether you're reaching for your goal or busy setting new ones, everyone hits their limit, but that limit has a reset. Scientifically formulated to hydrate faster in the moments that matter. Electrolyte, instant hydration.
Let's bring it on. It's game time. It's showtime. Oh, and it goes. Nick Hornsby. Here's Copeland for the win. You gotta love a Canadian hoops. Two hands. Oh, what a block from behind.
Getting set for second quarter action here in Saskatoon. Well, Khalil Ahmad looking to help steer his team into the postseason, but it's already been a pretty eventful week for the River Lions leader. With more on that, let's send it to Katrin Hodson.
Well, 3 days, 2 games, and 1 proposal. It was certainly a busy weekend for River Lions guard and star player Khalil Ahmad. Between their Friday game against the Shooting Stars and their 27-point comeback against the Blackjacks, Ahmad managed to squeeze in a pretty important moment, proposing to his girlfriend of 5 years, Alexis. It did take a bit of arranging as both of their families were in town. He told Alexis that his mom was taking the family out so that they could have their own little date night. Meanwhile, he had reserved and decorated the back patio at a restaurant where both of their families were waiting. The proposal took place on the water in Grimsby with the sun setting and a photographer ready to go. There were, of course, lots of emotions, he said. She did say yes, and she got one more surprise when they got to the restaurant. Their families were waiting there to celebrate with them. He said it was definitely a relief after that his game became a little looser post-proposal, understandably, once he was done trying to prevent her from discovering his plan. Back to you, Ryan.
Absolutely, great stuff. And yeah, as a nice finish there by Nathan Kayo answering the Bediako bucket, but I sidled up to Khalil Ahmad this morning. I said, "How you doing?" He said, "I'm great. I just got engaged." Like you know, when you have a life milestone like that, you want to tell the whole world. It's the first thing out of his mouth when I went over to chat with him this morning. Congratulations to Khalil, Alexis, and Yeah, pretty cool to get that all done here. Bediako now getting some work done in the paint. He was an absolute wrecking ball in the first meeting between these two teams. Starting to get unchained here in the second quarter. Vinales can't finish inside, and Lufile blocked by Bediako. Vinales with a third opportunity. He's got a lot to say, and he went over basically saying, I want a tech. I'm going to earn this tee and have speak my mind. Matt Fidelic listened and obliged. It has been a physical affair so far, Eric, and Niagara feeling like they're not getting their fair share of the whistles right now.
Yeah, and I don't know if you can truly believe that that's the case right now. Niagara is being very physical defensively, and for the most part, these officials are allowing it to happen on the perimeter, and that's a little bit more than what we've seen in some of these other games here. And it's kind of a good strategy here by the River Lions. You don't necessarily, officials don't want to call every single contact and foul everybody out of the game, so it's almost like you wear out that whistle early by being physical in that first quarter, but Vinales didn't like that one.
So first the technical free throw. Davian Dunn-Martin makes another one there. He's already up to 13 points. I shortchanged him in the first quarter. And Bediako picked up the blocking foul on Vinales, but before Kyle Vinales shoots his free throws, we're going to have a timeout on the floor. A minute and a half into the second quarter, the Mamba leading by 9. You're watching Canada's Professional Basketball League on CBC Gem, YouTube, and CEBL+.
The CDIC was established by the Government of Canada to protect deposits in case of bank failure. Coverage is free and automatic when you bank with a member institution.
Whoa. Thank you. That's my job. So you were saying...
Protecting your deposits, that's what we do.
The CEBL, Canada's Pro Basketball League, and redtag.ca brings Canadian basketball fans a chance to save up to $300 off on vacation bookings all season long with promo code CEBLFans. I wonder how our mascots would spend their time on vacation. Book today with Red Tag and save $300.
redtag.ca.
Back inside the snake pit. Saskatoon Mamba off to a quick start here in this second quarter. And Kimmel McKenzie calling that early timeout, I'm sure in part just to try to settle his team down, Eric.
Yeah, just a little bit too much emotion there. They know how important this team is, or this game is for their season, but it's finding that emotion and putting it in the right places here. The officials are not it. And frankly, for so far this game, they've been doing the right things. They forced, in that first quarter, they forced 7 turnovers by the Mamba. That's a great stat for them. They had 5 offensive rebounds in that first quarter, creating those second chances. It hasn't necessarily translated into points yet, but they're doing the right things. And if they can stay consistent on that, that's how the River Lions are successful.
Vinales makes 1 of 2. It's an 8-point Mamba lead, 8.5 to play in the second quarter. Grimane seeing his first minutes of the night out on the floor now. Dunn-Martin in the corner for 3, short. Good contest there by Kennedy. Ahmad still looking to get untracked here in this contest. He'll get his, just a matter of when. Vinales still looking for his shot. Now Mane up the floor, off the leg of Kyle Vinales. As Tutu checks back in here for Niagara, and just again, they just need him, especially on the defensive end. He's such a linchpin for them.
Yeah, but those 2 fouls is going to move him off of TDM and over onto Kareem Mane. That's good for the Mamba. Anytime you can keep Tutu off of TDM, it's going to be a better situation to try to get him a free shot.
Dunn-Martin for Monsanto, deep 3, no. Amari Monsanto wanted a call, but again, letting him play here for the most part, are the officials. Tutu gets inside, into the corner. Kennedy checks his feet. Can't hit the three. Monsanto the board. Three-point shooting just not there right now for Niagara, but that's kind of been the story this season. Just a 33.6% mark as a team as Mane gets a tough two off the glass.
Yeah, everything is contested right now. There's a lot of physicality. These guys need to make sure that when they're going into the lane, they've got balance. Great job by Mane there.
2-2 for Ahmad. Chaplin getting set to check back in for Saskatoon as Kennedy drives and finishes at the cup, +1.
Yeah, he does such a great job of slashing into the lane. He's long, he's athletic, he gets it there back to his left hand and is able to extend it past the defense.
That's the third foul on Marcus Harding. He'll stay out for the moment, though, as Trey Townsend heads to the bench. Chaplin out, but now, as I say that, Easton Tim quickly up off the bench to replace Marcus Harding with those 3 fouls.
And that consistently attacking the basket's paying off for the River Lions here. 2 fouls on Jaden Bediako, 3 fouls already on Marcus Harding. If they can keep doing that, that's going to pay off as we get into the third and fourth quarter.
Kennedy completes the 3-point play. 7-point lead for Saskatoon. Dunmartin, step back 3, yes! His 4th of the game.
And if we remembered it earlier in this season, there was a game where he hit 8. He's on pace right now to beat that.
And a tough pass there as Tutu airmailed it over the head of Kennedy. Tavian Dunmartin, 16 points already, more than half of the Mamba's offensive output. And he is feeling it here early. Jameer Chaplin handling the basketball. Working on Ahmad. Pulls up from the free throw line, well short. 2-2 the rebound. Quickly down the floor. Ahmad. Trying to get loose. Bounce pass for Gak. Can't finish. Tim swats it clear. A fight for the ball. And finally, the thumbs go up to signify a tie-up and the possession arrow favoring Saskatoon.
And a great job by the Mamba there of just fighting through that possession. They got caught in some mismatches. They switched their way out of it. Even on that short roll, they continued to fight to get that tie-up.
Mamba leading it by 10. Dunmartin, Mamba minutes leader, scoring leader, assist leader, and locker room leader, really. Here's Monsanto. Foul called, and we got a wedgie. A wedgie in the house, Eric.
Always a good day when you got a wedgie in the
I got
house.
craving for some potato.
And the Mamba have played such great defense tonight. It's a shame that they're only up 10 right now. That's a good thing for the River Lions that the Mamba haven't been able to take advantage of this. And free throws, once again, are not free tonight, Ryan.
Monsanto missing the first one. That foul on Ahmad, his second. Monsanto makes the second free throw. Tamari Monsanto coming into tonight in his first 3 games for the Mamba, shooting 83% from the line. So that'll drop a bit with that 1-for-2 trip. 2-2 for 3. No. Kennedy, though, gets the offensive rebound and draws a foul. And Keontae Kennedy's really been the only guy who's been able to produce so far in this game for Niagara. He's doing a lot of work inside, getting some second chance opportunities for the River Lions.
Yeah, he's doing a great job of getting second chance opportunities, attacking closeouts and slashing his way into the lane. He's a guy who can score at all 3 levels.
He has half of Niagara's points, so it's really been TDM and KK who have done the heavy lifting for their respective teams so far. Kennedy averaging 12.5 per game, but comes up empty on that trip to the line. He is a 65% free throw shooter, but has missed 4 of 4 this evening. So it remains an 11-point Mamba lead. Mane giving it off to Tim, has it knocked out of bounds.
And the Mamba now have to be concerted. When they get in the lane there, they got to look to score. The help side defense is going to stay out, particularly on TDM. So that's going to create opportunities in those lanes. You got to be a scorer when you get in there. Timeout here by the Mamba. This is a great opportunity for them to set something up coming out of this baseline end out. Great opportunity to try to get a little bit of a misdirection, try to get TDM another open three.
Isaiah Fox calling a timeout here with 5:12 remaining in the second quarter, which is a perfect time to send it over to Catron with more on how the head coach has embraced his first year as a head coach in this league.
Well, as we know, this is the first time since 2022 that this team has clinched a playoff spot, and it's really impossible to separate that from Coach Fox and the leadership he's brought to this team. I had the chance to speak with assistant coach Greg Jockums about it this morning. Coach Jockums is somewhat of a local basketball legend here in Saskatoon. He was head coach of the 2019 CEBL Championship Rattlers team. He was also head coach of the University of Saskatchewan Huskies for 13 years. The program's winningest coach, led the Huskies to a national championship as well. He knows the ropes. He's been around since the beginning, and he had nothing but praise for Coach Fox and the way that he's leading this team, calling him a great leader, someone who makes every single person in the room feel important. From the guys helping with the score clock, to the coaches, to the staff behind the scenes. He said Coach Fox goes out of his way and above and beyond to make sure everyone knows their role is important. His ability to make everyone understand their importance no matter what they do is a huge strength, and it's not easy to do. People remember you by how you make them feel, and Coach Fox has really created such an awesome environment.
Thanks very much, Catron. I know we can speak for where we're sitting here as broadcasters too. He's treated us with the utmost respect, and I would say he's been very forthright with us all year, or all summer rather. So we've got a foul here on Damari Monsanto as he gets contact on Tutu.
And the River Lions have to be happy with where they're at right now. Their two leading scorers are currently 1 for 12 from the field. They have 7 turnovers, and they have an opportunity to be down single digits going halfway through this second quarter. That's the best case scenario when you look at all those stats together. They're doing a great job of getting on the offensive glass, and that was the 8th turnover for the Mamba. That's allowing the River Lions to get out in transition and really putting a ton of pressure on the rim with foul trouble for the Mamba.
Tutu goes 1 for 2, which is in line with his 54% free throw shooting mark this season. TDM gets right to the rim. Tavian Dunmartin with 18 points already here in 15 minutes of action. Looking to put his stamp on things here at the Snake Pit tonight. Ahmad over to Kennedy. Gack gives it back. Keontae Kennedy for 3. No, Easton Tim with an athletic job to win that rebound. Good box out on Gack. Gets the pass inside, can't finish. Gets the board, trying to wrestle it away, but Gack this time wins the tussle and then throws it out of bounds. That kind of sums up the night so far for Niagara. There's a lot of effort, but the execution hasn't matched the effort so far.
Yeah, good little change up here by Coach McKenzie. Going small, moving Kaio to the 5. Jordan Chuente is the other forward here. Trying to change it up, give a different look, try to create a spark offensively.
And of course, trying to take advantage of Bediako being on the bench for Saskatoon as Dunmartin can't hit the 3, and Easton Tim away from the ball there, called for a foul on Chuente, or is it going on Chuente? Pardon me. Wow, the guy who ended up on the floor ends up getting called for the foul.
Yeah, and Easton Tim's done such a great job of just attacking the rim, being around there. That time, Chuente tried to keep him off the glass, wrapped him up, and Easton Tim just kindly helped him to the floor.
New Era is the exclusive game uniform partner of the CEBL and all 10 of its teams from coast to coast. Pick up your official replica jerseys now by visiting CEBL.ca. Jameer Chaplin back in for Saskatoon, gives it to Monsanto, puts up a 3 and hits it. And a technical foul on, is this on Tavian Dunmartin? No, it's on Tim, pardon me. There's a little shoving match going on after that basket. Isaiah Fox is livid over this call, having a very intense conversation with Mitch Strom here right in front of our scorers table.
Yeah, he's got a good point here. You know, it's one thing, you get some calls sometimes when you're the former MVP of the league. Definitely push Easton Tim first. Hey, sometimes they catch the second one, and in this case, that's what happened. Easton Tim definitely retaliated there. Unfortunately, they missed the first one, but they definitely caught the second one.
Well, I think if you said pick a Mamba to get the team's first tech of the game, I think Easton Tim would be pretty far down that list. He's a big guy and he plays a strong game, but he's not a guy that you would consider to be the type that really gets mixing it up with other guys. But
yeah,
it has been a physical game.
And you know what? This is the thing. He's a really nice guy, but he also doesn't back down to anybody.
Right. Not a lot of flow here in this opening half, shall we say. 36-22 Mamba lead. But the River Lions perhaps a little fortunate that it's only a 14-point game right now. Great pass inside for Schwente. Vinales with a lovely dish there.
Yeah, a little miscue there on how they wanted to handle that stagger screen for the Mamba. Great slip by Chuente to the rim.
Xavier Dunn-Martin in for Tim with a head of steam and plenty of contact that time. I don't think Ahmad can complain about that call. That'll be his third foul, though.
You know what? The River Lions did find a way to complain about that, which also goes in with kind of the theme of the night.
That one was pretty clear cut. I think if I even see, I always say if I can see it here from where I'm sitting, it's pretty clear. But Khalil Ahmad, who was vibing pretty high coming into tonight, is all kinds of unsettled here so far this evening. Just 1 point and 3 fouls in this first half.
And this is how you can kind of let your energy go in the wrong places. I know the River Lions are complaining that the calls aren't going their way. The Mamba have more fouls this quarter than the River Lions. So when it's actually going in that direction, it's how they're complaining doesn't actually match up with what's going on here in the game tonight.
And Isaiah Fox using every available player tonight. DeAndre Bernard checking in, and that will likely get a nice reception from the home crowd.
You gotta love what Coach Fox is doing. He's looking at all these different options that he has available with Jay Will being gone. Hey, DeAndre Bernard is the guy who can absolutely make an impact going down the stretch.
Nathan Kaya with a strong play, backing down Monsanto before finishing in tights.
Yeah, you wish Monsanto put up a little bit more of a fight right there. He just kind of got bullied all the way to the rim.
Mane swings it, corner three. Chaplin rims out. Kaya the rebound. Niagara trying to get a little closer here. 3 minutes to go in the half. It's a 12-point deficit. 2-2. Cut off outside. Kaya open look for three. No good. Mane skies in for the board. Chaplin back for Mane, right to the rack. Kareem Mane with 4 points here in the first half.
And you gotta love that the Mamba have been able to find a little pace here, increase it, get moving, sharing the ball with one another.
Vinales bounce pass to the corner. 2-2, right back down the baseline. Pass intercepted by Chaplin. Quickly up ahead, Mane to the cup. And another tough two for Kareem Mane. And that prompts a Niagara timeout as the Mamba have stretched the lead to 16. Kareem Mane, as he's done sporadically this season, when he gets in there, he has a knack for making an impact in limited minutes.
Yeah, he's another one of those energy guys off the bench, and that's been such a key to the Mamba's success this entire season. They're deep. As you said tonight, every single person's come off the bench, and just about every single person's made an impact on the game in a variety of different ways.
Lotto Max now gives you even more chances to win with new prizes of $100,000 every draw. Get your Lotto Max ticket tonight. Must be 18 plus. As we reset here with 2:21 to go in the half. A scrappy affair, but the Mamba, we talked about it off the top, Eric. They came into tonight needing to find the same level of urgency as the River Lions, who are desperate to secure their spot in the playoffs. And maybe, as you touched on for Niagara, it is a little bit of misdirected energy for Niagara, maybe a little out of focus as you can see how important this game is to them, and it hasn't really translated on the floor just yet.
Yeah,
Not in the right ways anyway.
Absolutely, Ryan. We talk about the controllables and being able to control what you control. What can you control? Your free throws, and making sure that when you get to the line, you're caring about it. Niagara tonight's only 5 for 13 from the free throw line, far below their season average. They're a team that can shoot the ball really well, a little maybe just thinking about it a little too much, and the importance of this game.
Niagara basketball after the timeout, trying to cut into this lead before the half. 2-2 for Schwente. On the block, it's Kayo. Back up top, Jordan Twente for three, rims out. And the tough three-point shooting luck continues. Now 1 of 13 on the night are the River Lions. Bandu drives, lost the handle. And quick conference, last touched by Tutu, say the officials.
Yeah, another little bit of a different lineup here for the Mamba. Going without a traditional point guard. Karimane kind of taking over that role, but a couple different combo guards in here. I like how we're exploring some different lineup opportunities.
Well, with their playoff spot already secured, this is an opportunity for Isaiah Fox to try a few different things. They don't want to lose any momentum, but it does give you a little bit more freedom as Townsend can't hit the baseline jumper. And Vinales brings it back up for Niagara. Minute and a half to play. Twente under the hoop.
Yeah, Twente's a big, strong guy. Pushed Bandu right there all the way underneath the rim. Has tossed a couple guys to the ground on these box outs. He's a tough check.
He is a sturdy player. Bernard cannot keep it alive. He thought he got pushed by Vinales. Not going to be rewarded with the whistle that time.
Yeah, I can tell him it's probably going to happen again tonight. It's a physical game.
Vinales trying to get a step inside. Kicks it out to Kayo. And he is fouled, or is this foul away from the ball?
Yeah, we got a foul away from the ball here on DeAndre Bernard. Got a little bit too caught up with Twente away from the ball. And this is how the River Lions have the opportunity to be successful. Going back to the free throw line and slowing the game down.
Now you got to make your free throws though, Eric. They're 5 of 13 tonight from the line.
Free throws are not free, Ryan.
They are anything but. Twente finally hits one though. He makes his first trip to the line here. Niagara hanging around. No good on the second. So 6 of 14 now. Niagara from the stripe, getting plenty of chances, but oh boy, that could have been a highlight reel play. You can see the look on Bernard's face. He'll settle for 2 free throws as Twente picks up his second foul.
And you gotta love that, because this is an untraditional group here for the Mamba out on the floor. How are they gonna look to create offense? It's through movement. Great ball reversal, getting an attack to the rim, and a backdoor cut by Bernard.
DeAndre Bernard, that's his first free throw this season, and he makes good. Of course, playing just his 3rd game, and there's also an element of making sure he's eligible for playoff duty by Isaiah Fox getting him into this game. You have to see the floor in at least 3 games. That's one of the criteria to be eligible for playoff action.
Yeah, it's one of the challenges with sort of the schedule of this season here. You don't necessarily know when guys are going to get called away, when they're going to have that great opportunity to be available for them. You want to make sure your team is as best prepared as possible, and that's with getting the most amount of players eligible.
And Bernard will get credited with that rebound as well after a couple misses by the River Lions. A real tough shooting half for Niagara. Trey Townsend for 3, no. Mane looking for the rebound. It's kept alive by Vinales. 30 seconds to play in the half. Vinales attacking the basket, puts it up and in.
Just a crafty finish right there.
And a timeout called by Isaiah Fox. He wants to set up a final play here for the Mamba with 22 seconds left in the half. And for all the things that Saskatoon has done well in this opening half, it is just a 12-point lead.
Yeah, really good timeout here by Coach Fox. Make sure you set up this final play. You get the people on the floor that you want. Trying to push this up to a 14 or a 15-point lead would be rewarding for this Mamba team for how they've played specifically defensively here in this first half.
And really, aside from Tavian Dunn-Martin, who has had a terrific night, and I think now they've adjusted his scoring total. I think he got credited with an extra 3. So he's actually got, he does have 20 points tonight on 5 of 11. But the Mamba, the rest of the team, is just 9 of 22 from the field so far tonight. So as a team, they're shooting 42%, but really aside from TDM, no one's really been able to get in any sort of rhythm offensively.
That's been the story of the Mamba all season. It's been by committee, different guys stepping up different nights. TDM's had some off-shooting nights earlier in this season. Great to see him getting it back on track here. And this is the thing about the Mamba team as well, is that once a guy's feeling it, everybody's on board to try to make him get the next shot.
And here's a wild stat for you, Eric. This is this one isn't it, but this is the 10th 20-point game of the season for Tavian Dunn-Martin. First time at home that he's had at least 20 points in a game. His first 9 20 or more games this year were all on the road.
I'll try not to take that personally.
That is quite the home road split for TDM, but he's feeling it at home here tonight, and he's got the ball in his hands for this final possession for Saskatoon. Drives, hands it off. Townsend fouled on the take. Townsend will shoot free throws.
And a great little possession there. Everybody was working so hard to take the 3 away from TDM. Good job of attacking the lane and forcing that next play to happen.
First on Lafile tonight. Coming up at the half, we'll have a CEBL feature on Kimball McKenzie, the River Lions GM and head coach, driven by community. Catron will interview Kimball McKenzie as well. We'll also check in on our first half stats and revisit Eric's players to watch. No good there for Townsend. One last chance. Niagara Vinales off target on the 3 at the buzzer. And so, after 20 minutes of play, it is the Saskatoon Mamba leading the Niagara River Lions 43-31. I think they'll be very happy with their defensive effort, Eric, will be Saskatoon, but certainly for the team that's led the league in scoring, not quite up to their usual standard. That said, 12-point lead is nothing to sneeze at after a half a play.
Yeah, it's about finding those little victories in there. They overcame some foul trouble, overcame a bit of a poor shooting night. They have to figure out a way to overcome this very physical River Lions defense.
Well, Tavian Dunn-Martin's driving the bus right now. He's got 20 first half points, and he's standing by with Catron Hodson for our halftime sideline interview.
All right, Tavian, 20 points on the board for you in that first half. You have clinched that playoff spot, but you still want to get that 3rd spot in the West. How did you feel heading into tonight's game?
I feel good. We know Niagara is playing for something still. So we needed to match their energy, so we came out and matched their energy. So it got me going. Last time they was talking a little bit of trash, so just carried over to this game and just came out with excitement.
A little bit of motivation for you. No J. Will on the floor tonight, but it seems like the team's adjusted pretty well. What do you think about that?
We're going to miss J. Will, the stuff he brings, but we still played without him before when he went to the Summer League. We need him, but we just got to move forward and see what we can do.
What do you want to keep seeing from your team in that second half?
Just togetherness. Just keep competing, to the final end. They're not going to give up. So just keep competing and playing together.
All right, thank you so much. Good luck in the second half. Back to you, Ryan.
Thank you very much, Catron and Tavian. Yes, it is the Saskatoon Mamba with a chance to match a franchise record with their 11th win of the season, and so far, so good. They lead it 43-31 over the Niagara River Lions. All right, halftime's coming up next. You're watching the Canadian Elite Basketball League live on CBC Gem, YouTube, and CEBL+.
The other end, Kimball McKenzie, the captain, one of the key leaders for this River Lions team.
My name is Kimball McKenzie. I'm the head coach of the Niagara River Lions, and I'm from Oakville, Ontario. To me, it just means, getting kids excited about basketball. I know growing up that I found an early passion for basketball, the Toronto Raptors, Vince Carter, stuff like this. I had people that I could look up to. So for me, it's a passion to show kids my excitement for the game, my excitement about healthy lifestyle habits, about living in a way and trying to be our best selves. So if I can go around and speak with schools, interact with kids at camps, it's something I love to do and that I'm quite passionate about. Yeah, this is a huge honor. It's an award that's given out every year. Jeff Zolak is an integral part of our staff and one of the main coaches that allows us to have the culture that we do. So to be honored by Ben's name and, like you say, a former staff member, it means the world. I know it's an award that nobody takes lightly in getting, and it means a lot. I don't know if it's changed it much. I think something that has been really important for the River Lions is having quality guys around. I think that's something that Victor Razzo did for many years. The guys that we bring in, when they are out in the community, I think they show their true colors in terms of the way they interact with people, in terms of the way they interact with kids, in terms of their excitement and willingness to be out in the community. So I don't think it changes how I built it. I built it trying to get really good people in the door. So I'm just trying to kind of continue that culture and legacy. I think what makes the Niagara community special is that, we are one of the smaller markets in the league, but somehow our home venue is one of the best. I even felt this as a visiting player when I used to come in here and play against Niagara. It feels homey. The fans are passionate. The fans are knowledgeable. There's a lot of fans that have been around for many years. So to have that support from our fans, from the community, even though it is a widespread community in the Niagara region, it's super important and valuable for us.
High-octane fun for the whole family. Motorsports events line up all summer long. Everything from drag racing, drifting, and everything in between. Test your skills on our private track with your own vehicle, or try out our powerful F2000s. We're just 90 minutes from Toronto and the Niagara region. Go to our website for upcoming event info. Toronto Motorsports Park Cayuga is a proud sponsor of Niagara River Lions basketball.
What keeps me going? Under the heat of the sun or in the heat of the moment. When climbing for even one more second seems like too much. Whether you're reaching for your goal or busy setting new ones, everyone hits their limit, but that limit has a reset. Scientifically formulated to hydrate faster in the moments that matter. Electrolyte, instant hydration.
The CEBL, Canada's Pro Basketball League, and RedTag.ca brings Canadian basketball fans a chance to save up to $300 off on vacation bookings all season long with promo code CEBLFans. I wonder how our mascots would spend their time on vacation. Book today with Red Tag and save $300.
RedTag.ca.
At Cal Tire, we're here to drive the best value around with free rotations, price match, 0% financing, and free flat repairs. We take care of it all for the life of your tires. Chat with our team at caltire.com.
Lotto Max now has more?
Oh yeah, like up to 90 new prizes of $100,000 on every draw.
Yeah, right. And aliens exist.
What? Lotto Max has more prizes?
Yep, that's more chances to win.
Sure, and horses can fly.
No way.
Cool.
Halftime underway here at the Snake Pit. It's a corgi race going on. This is round two. I think there was a disqualification in the first one. They're back. Oh, it's faster than the 100-meter dash at the Commonwealth Games, which are going on right now. Back inside here, Ryan Flaherty, Eric Magnes, Katrin Hudson with you as the Saskatoon Mamba lead the Niagara River Lions 43-31. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from that first half of action. There was a lot of free throw shooting, but there were some pretty exciting plays as well. As both teams kind of struggled to shoot in the first quarter, the Mamba's starting to pick things up in that second quarter. Defense has kind of been the order of the game, but in between there have been some great plays as Niagara's just having a real tough time shooting the basketball, just 31% in that opening half, Eric.
Yeah, that's the name of the game. It's hard to win the game if you're not going to make shots. The River Lions are currently 1 for 14 from 3 and 6 for 15 from the free throw line. That's just not going to get it done. You're going to put yourself in a tough spot, regardless of how good of defense they've played.
On the other side, Tavian Dunn-Martin, and we got to correct the record here because He was awarded a Phantom 2 at some point in that half. They've adjusted the numbers, so 18 first half points for Tavian Dunmartin. So he's not quite to that 20-point mark that he has yet to hit at home, but I think it's a fairly safe bet that he'll get there in the second half, Eric. But really, he was the guy doing it all, especially in that first quarter for Saskatoon.
Yeah, I feel pretty good about him getting to 20 points here in that second half. And they've done a great job as an entire team of sharing the basketball. 14 assists in that first half. That's on pace to even eclipse their 27 from their first meeting.
Might be the biggest cheers we've had so far tonight. The crowd loving these corgi races, and I got to say we are too. As we take a look at the halftime stats, and yeah, it's a pretty stark contrast, especially when you look at that three-point percentage. The Mamba are below their usual rates, up around 38%, but when you're shooting 7% on the other side, that certainly will allow the Mamba to maintain this double-digit lead. They've held the lead for the entire game so far. Rebounding is even, though. So what, to your mind, is the biggest adjustment that Niagara needs to make in the second half, other than, of course, making some more shots, but just tactically speaking, is there anything that you see that they might want to change?
Well, they have to adjust their energy, first of all. They got to worry about each other, worry about their own game plan, and stop putting so much on the officials and the outside things that they cannot control. And with that, they're going to need Khalil Ahmad and Kyle Viñales to get going. They're going to need to set them some ball screens, create some movement so that they can get the ball in the paint and kick the ball out to their open shooters. Keontae Kennedy has been the bright spot for them, and he's been able to do that by attacking closeouts, offensive rebounding, kind of doing the dirty work. He's got to get his teammates to jump on board.
Yeah, Ahmad and Viñales combined 2 of 14 for 6 points so far tonight, and those guys are so important to the success of the River Lions, averaging a combined 36 a game. So clearly needing more from them, more from everyone really in that second half. Niagara, their playoff hopes won't be dashed by a loss tonight, but it gets a lot more complicated. We will get to that in a few moments when we check in on our red tag path to the playoffs. But suffice to say, it's a lot simpler for Niagara if they just win it tonight. We'll talk about that in a few minutes though. First, another break as halftime continues here in Saskatoon. You're watching Canada's Professional Basketball League on CBC Gem, YouTube, and CEBL Plus.
High-octane fun for the whole family. Motorsports events line up all summer long. Everything from drag racing, drifting, and everything in between. Test your skills on our private track with your own vehicle, or try out our powerful F2000s. We're just 90 minutes from Toronto and the Niagara region. Go to our website for upcoming event info. Toronto Motorsports Park Cayuga is a proud sponsor of Niagara River Lions basketball.
The CDIC was established by the Government of Canada to protect deposits in case of bank failure. Coverage is free and automatic when you bank with a member institution.
Whoa, thanks.
That's my job.
Protecting your deposits, that's what we do.
Bottleneck now has more?
Oh yeah, like up to 90 new prizes of $100,000 on every draw.
Yeah, right. And aliens exist.
What? Lotto Max has more prizes?
Yep, that's more chances to win.
Sure, and horses can fly.
No way.
Cool.
The CDIC was established by the Government of Canada to protect deposits in case of bank failure. Coverage is free and automatic when you bank with a member institution.
Whoa. Thank you. That's my job. So you were saying.
Protecting your deposits, that's what we do.
It's more than a workout. It's my reset, my challenge, my win. From High Rocks training to recovery, Pilates to hitting new personal bests. Strength days, sweat days, the days I almost skipped, but didn't. These are the days that make me stronger. One gym, every journey, limitless possibilities.
At Cal Tire, we're here to drive the best value around with free rotations, Price match, 0% financing, and free flat repairs. We take care of it all for the life of your tires. Chat with our team at caltire.com.
Approaching third quarter action here in Saskatoon as the Niagara River Lions look to dig themselves out of a 12-point deficit, and their GM and head coach Kimball McKenzie is standing by with Katrin Hodson.
All right, Coach, 12-point game, bit of a tough first half. This is a big game for you. What was the conversation like in the locker room?
We got to settle into our stuff. Offensively, settle in. We're 1 for 14 from 3. We missed 9 free throws, so just settle in and be us.
And how do you keep the team morale up? I know you've come back, obviously, from much bigger deficits than this. You have a team that fights very hard.
Yeah, these guys care about winning. Just encouraging the guys to fall back on our fundamentals and what we work on every day.
And you know what it's like to be out there, in these kind of situations. So what's the advice you give the team?
One possession at a time. You're not going to come back from 12 with one shot. We got to play one possession at a time and get stops.
All right, thanks, Coach. Good luck in the second half. Back to you, Ryan.
Thanks, Katrin and Coach McKenzie. And yeah, 12 points is child's play for a Niagara team that erased a 27-point third quarter deficit. Not start of the third quarter, mid-third quarter in their last game against Ottawa. But the offense has just not been there. So Niagara certainly looking for some answers there. Eric, you picked out a couple players to watch at the start of this one. How did they do in the first half of play?
Yeah, bit of an up and down half for Kyle Viñales, but he's done a great job as a distributor for this team. It's tough to get assists when your team's not making shots, and he's still found his way to get 3 assists. He's been consistent in getting the ball into the key and being able to find his shooters outside. A guy who's been rebounding, pushing the ball, hasn't hit a 3 yet, but that's soon to change. And Jaden Bediako, he's been efficient and the anchor that this team needs. The stat that is not on the board that's so important is he has 4 block shots in that first half. He's been the anchor to control it. Got himself in a bit of foul trouble there that limited his impact, but when he's been on the court, he's been very efficient.
All right, it is time now to check in on our red tag path to the playoffs update. Here is how the standings currently shape up, and once again, it feels like every time we check in on this, it is still an absolute donkey show in the Eastern Conference right now. I was joking with a couple people yesterday, Eric, saying it seems like whenever there's an Eastern Conference team involved in a game, whatever result's going to create the most chaos seems to be the result we get. Case in point, Montreal beating Vancouver last night to get to 10 wins. Ottawa now sitting in the trail position. But Niagara, it's simple. A win tonight will officially clinch a spot. There's a lot of multi-way tiebreakers scenarios. We're not going to get into that. That's far above my head for sure. But it's simple for Niagara. They just got to find a way to come back here in the second half. And as for Saskatoon, they're trying to lock up that 3 seed. And a big win tonight would certainly go a long way to that.
Yeah, just an absolutely important game for both these teams, and a couple important. Nobody wants to be scoreboard watching down the stretch. The Mamba's next game's against the Stingers. That will obviously be a very important game in sort of determining that final playoff ranking. But for the Niagara River Lions, the worst part is waiting. And if they lose tonight, they're sitting on the couch watching other people, and their fate gets taken out of their hands.
Important Eastern matchup tomorrow night here in the CEBL with Brampton taking on Montreal, 2 of those 10-win teams in that bunch. And home court is still up for grabs for someone in that group as well in that first Eastern Conference semifinal round. So still much to be decided with just 4 days to go in the regular season, believe it or not. As we're underway in the third quarter, Ryan Flaherty, Eric Magdans, Katrin Hodson with you from Saskatoon. Hope you're having a good Wednesday night. Khalil Ahmad gets his first field goal of the game, wasting no time here in the third quarter, getting Niagara the first points of the third.
Yeah, and Kimball McKenzie knew right away that he's got to get Khalil Ahmad going. Great first possession there, giving him a great opportunity to get scoring.
What a pass from Bediako to Chaplin, who hammers it down.
We've seen that action a couple times now from the Mamba, where they want to start a half with a backdoor play, and it's been really successful.
Jameer Chaplin's got 6. Back to 12. The teams trade buckets to begin the second half. Viñales up top, guarded by Dunn Martin. Works his way inside, bounce pass Lufile. Contested by Chaplin, and then Bediako getting in the mix as well. Jaden Bediako had 4 blocks in that first half. 2 away from his team record of 6. that he shares with Grant Vasily. And now there's that baby hook that Jaden Bediako loves with the right hand.
Yeah, whenever Jaden can get back to that right hand there, he's got a really soft touch.
Good screen from Lafile, frees up Vinales for the three. That ends a stretch of 13 straight three-point misses for Niagara after hitting their first of the game.
And you can see what the River Lions are trying to do. First possession, Khalil Ahmad comes off a ball screen. Next two possessions, Kyle Vinales comes off a ball screen. They're making concerted effort to get those two involved as the key decision makers, and it's working so far.
Kennedy working hard on the defensive end, but gets a little contact in on Tavian Dunn-Martin for his second foul of the game.
But you gotta like how they reacted to that foul. Everybody just buttoned up and went right back on defense. No talking about it.
Devontae Bandu, quiet so far tonight. Had the winner to clinch the playoff spot for Saskatoon, and now knocks down a mid-range jumper. Nice little fadeaway there by Devontae Bandu.
And both offensives have opened up here a little bit to start this third quarter.
It's like the coaches said, hey guys, let's play some basketball in the second half.
If only it was as simple as, hey, let's just make some shots.
Guys, you know that hoop? Put the ball through it. Keontae Kennedy working on Bandu. Step back for three, short. Batted right down to Kayo. Chaplin was trying to save it, but may have been better served to let that go out.
And that's what Kennedy's been doing all night. He's been the energy guy for the River Lions, creating those extra possessions.
And another quick one on Kennedy as he got the body in front of TDM. And a delay of game warning now also issued to Niagara. So Kennedy running afoul of the law here early in the third quarter. Khalil Ahmad just looking for some clarification from the crew chief Tanner Servo. And that third foul will send Kennedy to the bench. Munis Tutu back in for Niagara.
Yeah, fouls will be something to watch. Lots of fouls there in that first half. How teams adapt to that here in the second half will be a major impact.
Bediako hands it off to Chaplin. Mamba by 11. Into the corner, Bandu chased off the line. Baseline jumper won't fall, rebounded by Kayo. He gives it to Khalil Ahmad. Gives it right back, nice pivot on the baseline. Lufile back outside, intercepted by Bandu. Dunn-Martin, Chaplin, and Tutu hustling back, picks up the foul. Kimmel McKenzie wants Elijah Lufile to take that ball to the basket, I think, Eric. Some pretty strong words there from the Niagara head coach for his former teammate.
Yeah, a couple times Lufile's got the ball inside and hasn't finished around the rim. Got a little tentative on that one, led to a turnover. Guards give the ball to the big with the expectation that they're going to be solid with it. It's tough. Kimball was one of those guards, one of those times, and he's been there. Words of encouragement in a different sense for his big man.
Yeah, I am assuming or making an educated guess there. I couldn't hear the exact words from Kimmel McKenzie, but based on what happened the last trip down the floor, I have to think that was the focus of that conversation, one-way conversation from the coach to Lufile.
Yeah, absolutely. You read that one right.
A lane violation on the second free throw, so Chaplin's going to get a do-over. He'll take that as he had missed it. And add just another cut to the mix for Niagara. That was something you talked a lot about last year when you were coaching the Rattlers, is the 1,000 cuts. Feels like it's been a game of 1,000 cuts for Niagara. A lot of them self-inflicted though tonight.
Yeah, that's the thing. Sometimes you get cut because the other team has a great game plan for you. It's when you're doing it to yourself, that's when the challenge occurs.
Chaplin could not take advantage of that extra opportunity, so 1 for 2. Lead back to a dozen for the Mamba. 2-2, mid-range is good. And the River Lions are hanging around here. The largest lead of the night has been 16 for Saskatoon. They've never trailed, but it cannot feel all that comfortable for the Mamba. Townsend, entry pass is a good one. Bediako in rhythm on the roll, finishes off glass.
Yeah, it feels like the River Lions have found a little bit of offense here in a couple of different ways and getting their key players involved. They got to start to get stops, though.
Vinales starting to find his range, though. That's a good sign for the River Lions.
Yeah, can the River Lions get back to stringing some stops together with their physical defense?
Bandu takes the handoff into the corner. Townsend, baseline, out for Dunmartin. Gets around 2-2 inside, and there's 20 for Tavian Dunmartin.
Yeah, such a great job of creating space, being shifty, and always staying on balance there to keep the defense off balance.
4 first half threes. He's got 9 in the 2 games against Niagara as Schwente answers at the other end.
Yeah, that's what those guards are looking for. When you catch that ball, go to the rim strong.
Mamba leading at 54-44 as we approach the halfway point of the third quarter. Dunmartin inside for Chaplin. Twisting, turning, and banking it home. And Khalil Ahmad has a couple words for Jameer Chaplin after that sequence.
Yeah, lots of limbs flying for Jameer. We know he's going to play hard every single possession. Sometimes it gets a little out of control.
Ahmad, a lot of contact there. Dunmartin on the arm will pick up his second of the night. Isaiah Fox making the case for a similar call that was not made at the other end on the last possession. It will put Khalil Ahmad on the free throw line. And such a consistent player in his 5 years with the River Lions. Never averaged fewer than 18 or more than 21 points per game in a season. Right on 20.2 coming into tonight's action. Just a model of consistency for this Niagara team. As he makes both to make it a 10-point game, and that will take us to a break with 4:55 to play in the third. And the River Lions sticking around here in Saskatoon. You're watching the Canadian Elite Basketball League live on CBC Gem, YouTube, and CEBL+.
Bottleneck now has more?
Oh, yeah. Like up to 90 new prizes of $100,000 on every draw.
Yeah, right. And aliens exist.
What? Lotto Max has more prizes?
Yep, that's more chances to win.
Sure, and horses can fly.
No way.
Cool.
Back inside the snake pit midway through the third quarter with the Saskatoon Mamba leading by 10. Well, as we've mentioned already, the River Lions trying to follow up one comeback with another here tonight, and with more on the momentum they hope to have built from their big effort last game against Ottawa. Let's send it to Katrin Hodson.
Well, when we spoke to Coach McKenzie this morning, he said that yes, of course, there is momentum from a game like their game against the Blackjacks, but also said it's important not to get too high on a win or too low on a loss. That advice more important than ever at this point in the game. That last win against the Blackjacks showed people the kind of team they are, the character, the resolve, and the fight that they have in them, that they clawed for that comeback minute by minute, play by play. That takes a lot of faith and resilience and belief in yourself and your teammates. Those are qualities Coach McKenzie says make him happy to go to battle with this team any day. And while he was obviously very super proud of the team, he said, we don't want to do that again. So I imagine at this point, it is a 10-point game. They are looking for a bit of a steadier game this time around. But if they can come back from 27, they can come back from 10.
And now 8 as they're back within single digits for the first time in a while. And just as I say that, Dunmartin restores the double-digit advantage for Saskatoon. He's up to 22 on the night. But yes, Niagara just chipped away, and eventually got a very big win against an Ottawa team that has shown a lot of inconsistency within games this season. They've been red hot for quarters and halves and then gone ice cold. 2-2 launches a three. That comes up short. Bediako grabs the rebound.
And I like the changes that Coach McKenzie's made here in the second half. He's gone to a smaller lineup, used Nathan Kyle more as their post player down on the offensive end. He was a post player back in college, kind of going back to those roots. He's shifted more to the perimeter, but it's kind of moving the Mamba into different positions, freeing up Khalil Ahmad, freeing up Kyle Vinales to get going here in the second half.
Vinales whistled for that last foul, his second of the game. This Western Conference game, by the way, is presented by Cal Tire. As substitutions for the Mamba, Monsanto, Clayton back in. Townsend as well for the Mamba. Monsanto gives it to Jaden Clayton. Turning the corner, kicks it out. Chaplin for three. Yes! Caught Clayton at an open lane to the basket, but turns out that was the right play.
Yeah, 2 is better than 3, Ryan.
And Vinales can't cash a 3 at the other end. And once again, the River Lions made their first of the half, but haven't had much luck at all from beyond the arc. Monsanto maintains possession inside for Townsend. Bandu fakes the pass, hoists it up, can't hit the 3. Mamba lead it by 13. Vinales Euro step, puts it up and in.
He's come alive here in this second half, being their primary offensive scorer.
Chaplin cannot finish in traffic. River Lions sticking close here, or at least keeping the Mamba from stretching out their lead. Vinales has time, can't hit the 3. I sound like a broken record, Eric. Trey Townsend now with the ball. Gives it to Chaplin. Back to Trey. Back door behind the back. Clayton for the short jumper. Monsanto. Lovely ball movement there by the Mamba.
And you gotta love this smaller lineup here for the Mamba, finding different ways to be effective scoring the basketball. It's all through movement and sharing the rock.
Lunas 2-2 finds Khalil Ahmad. Just 3 points so far tonight. Sorry, make it 5 for Ahmad. Gets to the rim, and that will add to his tally as that'll be a goaltending call against the Mamba. One last chance to see the new chapter of professional basketball in Saskatoon this regular season. Tickets are available by scanning the QR code or by visiting saskatoonmamba.ca/tickets. That date, August 3rd. It will be over at Merlis Belcher Place. The Calgary Surge will be in town. And we'll see what the standings look like when we get there. Clayton swings it over to Chaplin. Gets inside, trying to finish. Mane the tip, no. Chaplin finds the loose ball, throws it back outside. Here's Monsanto open for 3.
We've been saying it all year. When Monsanto's feet are set and he catches it in rhythm, it's going in.
What a great late season addition he's been. Did just have 3 points last game against Vancouver, but 26, including 7 threes in the playoff clinching victory over Brampton last week. As we've got a foul here on Karim Mane, his first of the night. And Tavian Dunn-Martin, after getting some rest here in the third quarter, will be back in for the final 69 seconds of this period. Niagara basketball on the baseline. Kicked out by Dunn-Martin. And after a very quick break, Kyle Vinales back in for the River Lions. He'll replace Khalil Ahmad.
Yeah, minutes ago here, I don't expect Khalil Ahmad to sit for long here. They're going to make a run. They're going to have to do it with him and Vinales.
Well, and he is a closer. We'll get more on that as we get towards the end of this game, perhaps. 2-2 gets a step. Oh, and a lovely reverse for Muniz. 2-2. 12-point game, final minute of the third. Dunn-Martin inside. Townsend muscles it up and in.
And Townsend's been such a great part this entire season. Early in the season, had his struggles, found his way shooting the ball. Now they're using him in such different ways. Now as a small ball 5 with Jalen Williams gone.
And Clayton gets the steal. He's got Townsend with him, puts it up for the flush. Timeout Niagara. How about Jaden Clayton and Trey Townsend on the connection? Townsend's first 4 points of the game coming late in this third period and putting an exclamation mark on it here for Saskatoon, who have matched their largest lead. It's up to 16.
And we talked about how the offense had to lighten up here for the River Lions. They've scored 23 points here in the third quarter, but they haven't been able to slow the attack of the Mamba. They've been able to get it going, get the pace they wanted, sharing the rock, getting out in transition. That's led to nearly 30 points here in this third quarter.
Well, Jameer Chaplin quietly is up to 14 points now tonight, just one shy of his season average as we get a look at some of his body of work this evening here.
And a major thing that's changed here for the Mamba is their ability to get out in transition, and that's because they're taking care of the basketball. After 7 turnovers in the first quarter, they've only had 2 turnovers since then. Them taking care of the basketball has led to more shots, led to more opportunities, and at the end of the day, more points.
So 29 seconds left in the third quarter. 3 River Lions with 3 fouls apiece, and they're all key players in Khalil Ahmad, Munis Tutu, and Keontae Kennedy. Marcus Harding, the only Mamba with 3. Tavian Dunmartin, Jaden Bediako, and Easton Tim have 2 apiece.
Yeah, and the Mamba are just getting impact from players all across the board. We saw every player get in that first half, and in the second half, we've seen something similar. A great rotation of cast members who have all made an impact.
And the three-point shooting still just woeful for Niagara, 2 of 19. The percentage is actually up from the halftime level of 7 up to 10.5. So I think that's what you call damning with faint praise there, Eric, as TDM got a hand in on that pass but knocked it out of bounds. And Tavian Dunmartin, meanwhile, has now had 6 assists tonight to tie the Mamba/Rattlers franchise single-season record. Vinales trying to draw a foul and is not going to be rewarded for that appeal.
Yeah, it's probably the wrong place to do it, too. Right in front of the Mamba bench, you're going to get no sympathy down there.
Fans, you can secure your exclusive River Lions merch now, including retro headwear and the Everyday I'm Duncan tee by visiting shop.riverlions.ca. Last possession for the Mamba. Here's Mane driving baseline, floating it up. No. And a last chance. Mane, no. Comes up short. Good effort there by Karim Mane, but the Mamba will have to settle for a 16-point lead after 3 quarters of play, looking for their 4th win in their last 5 games. And it's getting down to desperation time for the River Lions, but still plenty of basketball left to go. You're watching the CEBL live on CBC Gem, YouTube, and CEBL Flush.
You don't just fuel your body, you fuel your drive. We're not here to preach hustle. We're here for the ones who show up. You know who you are. The moms who make mornings feel like magic. The runners lacing up before the scroll. The dreamers writing it down before it's real. And we're here for you. Real fruit, real fuel. Booster Juice. Fuel for what's next.
Did you know that every CEBL game ends on a game-winning bucket? Yep, every single one. That's because we use something called target score ending, a thrilling twist that keeps fans locked in till the final shot. So what is the target score ending? Here's how it works. The first time the clock stops with 4 minutes or less left in the fourth quarter, the game clock is turned off. We enter target score time. We take the leading team's score, add 9 points, and that becomes the target score. Let's say it's 91-80. That means the first team to hit 100 wins. No ticking clock, no intentional fouls, just pure clutch basketball. It's fast, it's electric, and it guarantees that every game ends with a bang. Experience the target score ending this CEBL season.
Welcome back to Saskatoon. Time now for our cruise of the game presented by Cal Tire. We got another look at it heading to break, but it's so good, we'll want to see it again from the reverse angle there. Jaden Clayton putting it up for Trey Townsend.
Yeah, the Mamba, that was the key to their third quarter and the way they were able to score the ball. They were able to get out in transition, push the pace, and they shared the ball so well with each other, made a bunch more shots. Whereas the River Lions still struggling to shoot the ball. 1 for 5 from 3 in that quarter, leads to 2 for 19 for the game, but much better job attacking the rim, scoring 23 points that quarter. They're going to need more of that going into the fourth.
But the Mamba aren't providing them with any extra help. Saskatoon has not committed a single turnover since the second quarter as Monsanto opens the fourth with his third 3 of the game.
Yeah, Mamba do not want to get complacent here. As you mentioned, 27-point comeback in the last game and a huge flush by Ahmad to start it off.
A little bit of frustration unleashed on that one-handed dunk by Khalil Ahmad. Not the biggest guy on the floor, but he can get up there with the best of them. Monsanto, step back 3, no. Townsend trying to save it, but could not get there in time. Khalil Ahmad trying to get himself going. Now 7 points after that dunk. Kyle Vinales leading the River Lions with 14.
Yeah, when Ahmad drives, he's always looking to create contact. It's really hard for defenders to stay disciplined, keep your hands out. He's going to create contact with you. Clayton's done a great job of drawing charges all season, but he got a little bit too much there, got his hands in, and he's going to get called for the foul.
That's just the first on Jaden Clayton tonight, who fouled out in his first couple games as a pro, but has settled in here, finding his footing in the CEBL. 2-2, curl and shoot. There's Kennedy with a thunderous finish on the putback.
Yeah, and Kennedy back in the game after he got that third foul in the third and had to sit for a bit. Back in the game, making his impact felt right away.
15-point lead, Clayton called for the walk as he tried to head fake Gorjak Gak. Couldn't keep his feet still.
Yeah, that's just the length of Gak right there, causing that turnover. A little bit wondering where the guy was behind him and how far he could reach.
Jaden Bediako back into the game for Saskatoon and secures a rebound, but it's taken away by Tutu. Extra possession here for the River Lions, and they can use as many of these as possible here down the stretch. Ahmad working his way in, and that's swatted out.
Yeah, much better job there by Monsanto of just keeping his hands high, keeping his hands out. As he's saying right there, he's trying to get the push-off call, but at the end of the day, just keep your hands up, stay in front, force them to hit difficult shots.
So Niagara will retain the possession here, but just 3 seconds on the shot clock. Kimball McKenzie was screaming for a foul there. Didn't Tanner Servo just turned to him and said, hey, don't worry about it. The new coach will officiate. So 2-2 on the inbounds, and there's the foul. Maybe a little later than Kimball McKenzie wanted, but he does get the call this time, and it's on Bediako, who picks up his third.
Yeah, tough one right there. Good late clock possession by the River Lions to be able to get a shot, and just a little bit of an uncertainty there by the Mamba and how they wanted to handle the action. Late closeout by Jaden Bediako leading to that foul.
Gorjak Gak, Australian import at the line. That's his second made free throw tonight. And it counts for all of his points. Can't hit the second. Bediako grabs the rebound. Jaden Bediako filling up the rebounding column again tonight. That's his 6th of the game. Dunmartin, though, has it stolen by Tutu. Kayo running the floor. Blocked by Townsend. Dunmartin down for Clayton. Back to Tavian Dunmartin for 3. No. Long rebound. Back to Bediako. Another try for TDM. That's short. 3-point shooting and not as hot as it was in the first half for Dunmartin. Still with 22 points tonight, though. Kayo now. The low block. Kicks it out. Ahmad. puts a shoulder into Clayton, who will be called for his second foul. Count that basket. And Khalil Ahmad with a chance for 3.
And this is who the River Lions need to be, attacking the rim, creating that contact, getting themselves back to the free throw line and slowing this game down. When the Mamba can play with pace, they're really hard to guard.
It's back to a 12-point game here now with 7:35 on the game clock, and Ahmad trying to make it 11. Closest Niagara has been in the second half is within 8. And Ahmad completes the 3-point play as he finally gets to double digits here tonight. A little later than perhaps many expected, but starting to have his say in the late going, as he so often does. Clayton. Monsanto, quick release, yes! Damari Monsanto is a long-range assassin.
That was a huge possession because it looked like that was going a whole lot of nowhere right there. But Monsanto bails them out to push the lead back to 14.
Gak, little runner in the lane is good.
And that was the first time we've seen the Mamba go zone tonight. A little bit of confusion there leads to the great shot by Gak in the lane.
Dunmartin a little out of control, lost the basketball, and turnovers starting to emerge here in the fourth, and Tutu given an uncontested run to the lane, or to the basket. And Isaiah Fox wants to talk this over as the River Lions have chipped it down to a 10-point deficit with 6:45 on the game clock.
Yeah, the Mamba can't be comfortable here. The River Lions are used to being in this spot where they're chipping away at leads, and they are fully set up for a closer in Khalil Ahmad coming down the stretch.
Damari Monsanto's up to 15 points tonight, many of them from his office outside the arc. And some three-point shooters have one particular or maybe two spots they like to shoot from. He seems to be able to hit from anywhere around that perimeter, Eric.
Yeah, as long as those feet are set, it's going up and it's likely going in. He's been just lights out since joining the Mamba a couple games ago.
Fans, the River Lions will finish their regular season on the road when they travel to the Winsport Event Center to take on Amari Chaney and the Calgary Surge this Friday. Action begins at 7:30 p.m. Mountain, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. Meanwhile, the Mamba will play their final road game of the regular season when they travel to Edmonton for a pivotal matchup with the Stingers that could decide who finishes third in the Cal Tire Western Conference. Tip-off is on Friday at 7 p.m. Mountain and Central Standard Time. A lot of fun this time of year, and certainly, you know, for fans here in Saskatoon, it's been a lot of fun to think about playoff basketball, which is just around the corner, and now the Mamba, they want to be playing their best basketball heading into the postseason. And still some work to secure the victory here tonight as Niagara is clawing their way back in. Monsanto, though, lovely finish off 1 foot as he banks it home.
Yeah, and the River Lions have made their runs tonight when the Mamba have not taken care of their basketball. After we complimented them for no turnovers in that third quarter, they came back here in the fourth and have had a couple to start it.
Kennedy in for Gak. He's rejected by Monsanto. And now a foul in transition committed by Keontae Kennedy. That's his fourth.
Yeah, and you like the idea there. He's trying to keep the Mamba out of transition, but the fourth foul on Kennedy, they cannot afford to lose him. He's had such a big impact on this game. And right there, you can see Coach McKenzie feels the same way. Going to hold him out here until target time.
Fast break points haven't been a major factor tonight, but the Mamba do have 15 of them to Niagara's 7. Dunmartin catch and shoot 3. It looked like Kayo got a hand on that. Ahmad has his pass deflected and taken away by Chaplin, who then ran into Tutu, inadvertent contact, but that stunned Jameer Chaplin a little bit. He's back in the play now. Dunmartin driving, lays it up and in. Tavian Dunmartin up to 24 points tonight, trying to lead the Mamba to their 11th victory of the season.
And another zone look here for the Mamba, just trying to keep the River Lions on their toes, trying to not allow them to find those shots.
Contested by Bediako as Ahmad comes up short. Dunmartin, extra pass. Monsanto just rolls it over the rim. And a timeout called by Kimball McKenzie.
Yeah, that zone just gave a different look there, allowed Jaden Bediako to stay close to the rim and have an impact on those last couple Khalil Ahmad drives.
Well, the Mamba, who haven't been in this position as frequently as they would like this season, Eric, give them credit. They have done a good job. It's like the bigger brother holding off the younger brother with a stiff arm to the forehead as he's trying to swing at him. They've gotten close, but they haven't been able to really make a lot of contact. The closest they've been is 8 points here in the second half. Every time they start to push, the Mamba seem to have an answer.
Yeah, and you said it perfect there. Whenever the River Lions are looking to claw their way back into this, the Mamba have been able to find what the answer is. And that answer's been a number of different people. In the first half, it was TDM. In the second half here, it's been Damari Monsanto. But at the end of the day, you've got to love the heart of the River Lions here, and they've been led by Keontae Kennedy.
As we look at some of the River Lions' work at the rim tonight, they haven't had much luck outside the arc, but they've had some highlight reel dunks. There's Khalil Ahmad with the one-handed hammer. Just hasn't been as consistent enough, the offense tonight, for the River Lions, and you got to give the Mamba a ton of credit. For whatever reason, this matchup has been really good for them this year. 77 points they held the River Lions to in the first meeting. That was a season low for Saskatoon, and right now, Niagara's got 66 with 1:21 until we hit that target score threshold. So Saskatoon, this is the defensive blueprint I'm sure that Isaiah Fox would like to see down the stretch here. Back underway out of the timeout. Couple of huge possessions here for Niagara as they try to mount a furious late comeback. Ahmad slashing inside, throws it to the corner. Kayo checks his feet, can't hit the three. And Bediako with another board. And right back for Chaplin, but he can't finish in tight. Inside Schwente, great adjustment midair as he puts it home.
And we're in the final minute here before target time. Neither team has foul trouble. You'd expect the Mamba to want to sort of slow this down, minimize their number of possessions, push it into target time as quickly as possible here.
30 seconds until we hit that magic 4-minute mark. Dunmartin turns the corner on Kyle, lays it up and in.
He's done a great job of getting to the rim. After hitting some shots early, it's really pushed the River Lions defense up on him, but he hasn't settled for just shooting threes tonight. Great job at getting into the paint.
3-point try for Kennedy, keeping hope alive for the River Lions. Lead down to 13 as Dunmartin brings it up the floor. Niagara would love to extend this as long as they can before the whistle. Dunmartin drives. Schwente with the steal. Kennedy the other way. Vinales, all kinds of time to set his shot, but can't make the three. Dunmartin secures the rebound. Missed opportunity there for Niagara.
Yeah, and an absolute missed opportunity where the Mamba here are going to want to get into target time as quickly as possible. Not a terrible foul there by Jaden Bediako, other than that will be his fourth.
And he's complaining, but I think if he takes a moment to think about it, he'd prefer that to a transition basket to allow the River Lions to get a little closer. And are they going to call this an unsporting foul? There's a conversation going on right here because he tugged the jersey from behind on a potential transition there, and I think
looks
they
like
are going to call it.
They are not. They're just calling a common foul here. So the Mamba are okay. We're entering into the target score timeout.
And no free throws here because that was just the fourth team foul in the quarter for Saskatoon. So that will take us to target score time. The Mamba leading it 84-71. We'll be back with the finish here from Saskatoon. You're watching the Canadian Elite Basketball League live on CBC Gem, YouTube, and CEBL+.
Let's bring it on. It's game time. It's showtime. Oh, and it goes. Nick Hornsby. Here's Copeland for the win. You gotta love a Canadian hoops. Two hands. Oh, what a block from behind. Next bucket wins. Target score time
is the best time of a game. The energy, the drama, that anything can happen. Oh my goodness! Can you believe this guy? Big players step up in big times. He is cooking.
Target score time is upon us here in Saskatoon. First to 93 will win it. The Mamba in the driver's seat, leading it by 13, thanks in large part, no surprise, to the efforts of Tavian Dunn-Martin, who in addition to a game-high 26 points, has also contributed 8 assists tonight. And that's significant, Eric, because he has now become the Mamba franchise all-time single-season leader in assists, now up to 145 this season, breaking the old mark of 143 set by Nate Pierre-Louis last season.
Yeah, such a great record for him to hold. He's done such a great job as being this team's leader this year, getting others involved, scoring when this team's needed scoring, but great to see him on top of the record book.
And a little different too, because Pierre-Louis was almost like assist first last year, although he did have some big offensive nights, but Dunn-Martin's been big in both departments all season. As we've got a foul to begin at target score time. That one is on Jameer Chaplin with his second of the game.
Yeah, you can see the River Lions in that time out there talked about the zone and how they want to attack it. They got to the gap, got to their guy Ahmad, and he just attacked that seam all the way to the rim.
So Niagara obviously is going to need some stops here in target score time. If there's anything at this point in the game that they need to change or do better, what do you see defensively that is going to be the secret sauce to a comeback here for the River Lions?
It's about locking in. They've had too many times where the Mamba have been able to get past that first line of defense, and then they're either needing to help at the rim or it's creating open kickouts for the Mamba.
Well, they start off the target score period with a couple points from the line from Khalil Ahmad. It's an 11-point game now on Santo in the corner. Blanketed by Ahmad. Gets it inside. Chaplin to the cup, can't finish. Battle for the loose ball, and looked like that was last off Chaplin and out of bounds. As Trey Townsend will now check in for Saskatoon.
And the River Lions got away with that one right there. Tavian Dunn-Martin gave the ball up a little too quickly there when there was a bit of confusion by the River Lions. If he had held it for one more beat, he probably would have had an open shot.
So one stop down, and Niagara now trying to stack baskets together at the offensive end. Ahmad with 33 career target score winners. Tough take, can't finish. Well defended by Bediako. Dunn-Martin though, hounded, lost the ball, and then Bediako with the reach in commits his 4th foul of the game.
That might be his 5th foul right now.
It is, I believe, yes.
That's a big foul there for the Mamba. If Jaden Bediako's out of the game, the question is, where do they go from here?
No, I think it is his 4th, actually.
It is just his 4th. Oh, that is...
Sorry, it is 5. A little confusion here, but we've sorted it out. That is 5 on the Mamba big men.
Now, the Mamba have had some success going small. Not sure yet who is going to get it.
And that's 5 team fouls as well here on the Mamba. Of course, a reminder that foul numbers carry over from the rest of the 4th quarter into target score time, and Niagara, on the other hand, has only committed 1 foul since the start of the 4th.
And there was a technical foul here. I'm not exactly sure which Mamba player or coach it was on, but a technical foul being shot here by the River Lions.
Tavian Dunn-Martin, I'm told, was assessed that tech. But Vinales cannot convert the free throw. He will still get a couple more here after the Bediako foul. And Jaden Bediako fouling out of this game with 8 points and 8 rebounds, along with a couple assists and 4 blocked shots. All 4 of those blocks came back in the first quarter.
Yeah, and this is not the time for the Mamba to lose their head. And the free throw line continues to be a challenge here for the River Lions. Great shooter in Vinales, 0 for 2 so far at this trip.
12 of 23 tonight, make it 13 of 24, just a shade over 50%.
Well, and even when they go in, they don't necessarily look great.
But it is down to a 10-point game. Mamba still looking for their first points at target score time. Dunn-Martin attacking the cup. taking it into his own hands. He's got 28.
And another great job attacking the rim, not trying to score this with threes, but doing it one possession at a time.
That's all the Mamba need to do. They can trade possessions here. They've got a 12-point cushion. Kayo knocked loose by Townsend, but Keontae Kennedy picks it up. Back down to the low block. Kayo, good first step and a great finish.
Yeah, Townsend got him on the first poke there, but he was ready for it in the second and countered off of it.
10-point game once again. Clayton into the corner for Bandu. Back up top. Around they go. Monsanto, deep three. Oh! Can you believe it? Tamari Monsanto getting some high fives from the crowd. It's a 4-point play opportunity. Second time he's done that in target score time in his brief stint here with the Mamba.
Yeah, he's hit some big shots for the Mamba down the stretch here. And this free throw has the opportunity to make it a one-possession game. A one-possession game for the Mamba to close it out.
Thank you. Keontae Kennedy fouling out there. So one player on either team has fouled out here in target score time. Monsanto makes the free throw. It's a 3-point destination now for Saskatoon as we've got a foul on the floor against the Mamba. That's against Tavian Dunn-Martin, who I think this is the first time all season he's had 4 fouls, Eric.
Yeah, and a strategy maybe the River Lions are going to look back on here and wish they'd went to sooner. Get a switch on Tavian Dunn-Martin. Khalil Ahmad went straight to the post there to force him to have to fight for that front and got him into foul trouble early.
Well, the one guy who has been making his free throws tonight for Niagara is Khalil Ahmad, who's a perfect 7 of 7, make it 8 of 8. Half of his 16 points tonight from the stripe. He did only have 1 point at the half, so he has found some offense, but River Lions still trail by 12 as Townsend gets right to the rack.
1 point here for the Mamba for victory.
Trey Townsend, huge finish at the rim. And now the Mamba in all kinds of control. Tutu in for Kayo. As he fights off Clayton, can't finish, rebounded by Bandu. Mamba 1 point away from victory. Looking for their 7th win of the season at home. Monsanto, why not? No. Almost a logo 3 there for Monsanto. Vinales now slashing inside. 2-2 under the hoop. Schwente stripped. Ball out of bounds. It will stay with Niagara.
You gotta love those extra efforts defensively here, not giving up anything as Kimball McKenzie looks to call a timeout.
Well, we've seen some crazy finishes this season. A lot of them have been in favor of the Mamba here in Saskatoon, but if Niagara can somehow win this game, that might top them all. Right now, Eric, they're 15 points away, and the Mamba just need 1 to finish this off.
Yeah, and as much as it's about this game, it's about preparing themselves for the next and preparing themselves for playoffs. Making sure you're using each of these reps, each of these opportunities to have yourself as prepared for playoffs. They still have a great shot despite whatever the outcome of this game is here, and it's not looking great. They still have a great opportunity to be in the playoffs, and at the end of the day, as much as it's been about the River Lions, it's about the Mamba and what the Mamba have done in this second half offensively and just taking it to the River Lions.
Trey Townsend has just 6 points tonight, but all 3 of his field goals have been highlight reel buckets. He's also got 8 rebounds, 5 assists. I thought we saw 2 blocks in that highlight pack, although he's only credited with 1 here. But either way, Trey Townsend has really just maybe been the X factor tonight for Saskatoon, just kind of getting in all the points of the stat sheet. Nothing too gaudy, but that was, I'm told, 2 looks at the same block there. So yes, just the 1 block shot for Trey Townsend. Well, but it's been another real good second half effort from 0-0.
And the Mamba have asked him to do so many different things. Play on the wing, play a small ball 5, be the distributor on the offense. He's running it in their delay action right now, where he's looking to attack off the dribble, get guys involved. He's done a little bit of everything for the Mamba.
That bucket will go, and now Isaiah Fox wants to use a timeout and set up what he hopes will be the winning play.
Yeah, no chances taken here by Coach Fox. He knows he's got 2 timeouts left in the bag. Might as well use one here, get everything set up. Again, a great opportunity for them to learn when they get to that playoff time and they need a big bucket, what's something they can look to run, what's an action that can really work for them. I expect that they're going to try to keep the ball in Trey Townsend's hand, try to do some of their 5-out actions. They've been so good with cutting without the basketball. It's created a lot of confusion for this River Lions team.
Jordan Chuente doing some good work in the paint tonight for Niagara. He's got 9 points. And he's just one of those guys that can really finish around the rim. A 56% field goal percentage this season, and you can see why, as his teammates really doing a good job setting him up for some easy buckets this evening.
Well, and as we've said all night long, it's been difficult for the River Lions from 3. They've needed to attack the paint and distribute it, and their bigs have come through, and Chuente's been a big part of that. As the River Lions have changed their lineup throughout the game and gone smaller and smaller, that's had a huge impact, and he's been a big reason why.
Well, if Niagara cannot mount this massive comeback, they will likely look back at a few things that went awry tonight, but the three-point shooting has to be at or near the top of the list. 3 of 23 tonight, just 13%. That is not going to win you a lot of basketball games in this era of the sport. All right, Mamba ready to go here. Clayton to inbound. He's out there with Townsend, Dunmartin, Bandu, and Monsanto. The pass comes to Tavian Dunmartin. Bandu for 3, no. Batted up by Townsend, but out of play. And the River Lions get another reprieve.
And a different look there by the River Lions. First time they went zone all game to try to counteract that timeout.
It's Vinales, Ahmad, Tutu, Chuente, and Kayo. 3-pointer, Vinales knocks it down. Just the 4th of the game for the River Lions, but they're within 9. Still a hill to climb. Mamba, another chance to win it. Dunmartin thought about a logo 3. Inside it comes. Monsanto wins it for the Mamba.
And a perfect guy to end it. He's had such a huge impact this entire night. Shooting the ball from deep, scoring inside. Another victory here for the Mamba.
25 points for Damari Monsanto. 5 of 8 from deep, but did some good work in the paint in the latter stages as well. He and Tavian Dunmartin combining for 53 points tonight as the Mamba win for the 4th time in their last 5 games. And they have equaled the franchise record with their 11th win of the season. 7th victory here on home floor tonight.
Yeah, we wondered if the Mamba would relax now that they've secured a playoff spot. The exact opposite happened. They got back to business after a bit of a shaky first quarter. They really took care of the basketball, shared the rock with one another, and their defense got much improved.
Well, we already heard from them at the half, but of course we want to hear some more from the game-high scoring leader and the real leader of this Mamba team, Tavian Dunmartin. He's our Booster Juice player of the game. He's standing by along with the requisite towel pile and Katrin Hodson.
Yes, the towel pile is becoming somewhat of a tradition. Okay, 28 points on the board, Tavian. How are you feeling after that performance?
I'm just glad we got a dub, man. That's 2 in a row, so we're just trying to keep it rolling, keep it going, on to the next one.
All right, I'm not sure if you know this, but you just set the single-season franchise record for assists at 143 assists. You had 8 tonight. So how does that feel? How does that sound to you?
Shout out to my teammates, man. They got me the record. So I just feel extremely blessed and honored, but job's not finished yet.
All right, you have 1 more home game left, another game on the road. What's your focus going to be going into those?
Just get another dub. Just get momentum going into the playoffs. We want to have that. So we're just trying to do that and come in with poise and try to dominate.
All right. Back to you, Ryan. We're here under our towel tower. Incredible game. Incredible game. 1 more home game here in Saskatoon this season.
Yes, build your towel forts, your towel tents, whatever you want to call them. It's working for the Saskatoon Mamba, experiencing success, the likes of which we haven't seen for this franchise in a few years. And the home fires keep burning here in Saskatoon as the Mamba improve to 6-2 against the Eastern Conference and hand the River Lions a tough loss. We'll come back on the other side of this break to wrap things up from Saskatoon as the Mamba take this one 94-83. You're watching Canadian Elite Basketball League live on CBC Gem, YouTube, and CEBL+.
Lotto Max now has more?
Oh, yeah. Like up to 90 new prizes of $100,000 on every draw.
Yeah, right. And aliens exist.
What? Lotto Max has more prizes?
Yep, that's more chances to win.
Sure, and horses can fly.
No way.
Cool.
High-octane fun for the whole family. Motorsports events line up all summer long. Everything from drag racing, drifting, and everything in between. Test your skills on our private track with your own vehicle, or try out our powerful F2000s. We're just 90 minutes from Toronto and the Niagara region. Go to our website for upcoming event info. Toronto Motorsports Park Cayuga is a proud sponsor of Niagara River Lions basketball.
At Cal Tire, we're here to drive the best value around with free rotations, price match, 0% financing, and free flat repairs. We take care of it all for the life of your tires. Chat with our team at caltire.com.
The CEBL, Canada's Pro Basketball League, and redtag.ca brings Canadian basketball fans a chance to save up to $300 off on vacation bookings all season long with promo code CEBL fans. I wonder how our mascots would spend their time on vacation. Book today with Red Tag and save $300.
redtag.ca.
Back to wrap inside SaskTel Centre as the Saskatoon Mamba pick up their 11th victory of the season with a 94-83 win over the Niagara River Lions. Ryan Flaherty, Eric Bagdans here with you. Before we tie a bow on this one, want to let you know the next action here in the CEBL. Just one game on the schedule tomorrow, but it has huge playoff implications in the Lotto Max Eastern Conference, and I mean huge. The Montreal Alliance travel to the CAA Centre in Brampton, fresh off a big win over the Vancouver Bandits, to take on Sean East and the Honey Badgers, with both teams looking to lock in their playoff spots. Tip-off is at 7:30 Eastern. You can catch all the action on CBC Gem, YouTube, and CEBL+. Well, Eric, it was Star Wars night here in Saskatoon, and the force was strong with the Mamba as they pull off another impressive victory. They really seem to be rounding into form, looking like a playoff-type team with a playoff-type effort here tonight against a desperate Niagara side that was trying to clinch its own playoff spot.
Yeah, this Mamba team has grown throughout this entire season. They continue to find different ways to win. When they're not shooting the ball that well, when they're not necessarily making the same plays that they do, their energy and their effort has stayed consistent this entire season to where they fought through and got these victories.
Tavian Dunmartin, 28 points, 8 assists, and yes, now holds the single-season franchise record with now 145 to his name, 2 more than Nate Pierre-Louis, he had last year, and of course, still a couple games for TDM to add to those numbers. And Jermario Monsanto not only had the target score winner, the first of his career, but that was part of a 25-point effort, 51 points in his last 2 home games here for the Mamba. As for Niagara, Eric, a tough loss for them. Their hopes are not completely dashed, of course, but they've just got 1 game left in Calgary. A must-win for the River Lions on Friday.
An absolute must-win for the River Lions. You never want to be scoreboard watching to end your season. But frankly, 12 missed free throws tonight, shooting 16% from 3, missing 23s, going 4 for 24. That's just not going to get it done. But an opportunity for them to regroup. That's not who they are. They have a chance to win their next one and secure their spot in the playoffs.
It'll be interesting to see what kind of effort the Surge have. Of course, they're out of the playoff mix. So that'll be on Friday. That's the next time the Mamba will be in action, as well as they will travel to Alberta as well to take on the Edmonton Stingers. We'll be back with you one more time August 3rd when the Surge pay a visit to Saskatoon. On behalf of Katrin Hodson and Eric Magdans, I'm Ryan Flaherty saying thank you so much for watching and good night from the Bridge City.
Mamba it with the game. Oh, you think it's a game? I came to knock him out the way, 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 knock him out the way. With your head top, time for some action.
Program has ended.